Hi guys, and welcome to another video from Overbite Gaming. I am the majestic Lee because I am by myself today, so I am stealing that name from Snare as it's the far more, well, it's a far better name than some inhuman monkey that I normally get called. So today we're going to be doing a quick list of 5 annoyances I find personally when building a PC. Now, I'm about to build a PC, so these things are sort of forefront of my mind, really. We'll start with number 5, which is cable management. Now, we know cable management is a necessary evil, and it's become even more important nowadays since a lot of cases let you look inside, and if it's a complete jumble in there, you'll just have the piss taken out of you. It also helps with airflow. But the actual nature of doing cable management is a bit of a nightmare. You need your cable ties, or tweezers as they're also known, apparently. And you need to fit the cables in and round the back and through the grommets and try and tie them away as nicely as you can. Trouble is, sometimes that means, oh, well, I need to get this out, so the graphics card's got to come out, and then I've got to put it through there and then put the graphics card back in. So it's a bit of a nightmare. And I'm not a tidy person. Ask anyone. And it goes against my grain. I mean, my current PC is a complete rat's nest in there, but I haven't really bothered sort of dealing with it. I've had to replace the cooler and the power supply recently. I've not really dealt with it because I know I'm going to be getting a new case and we'll have a fresh start. I'll turn over a new leaf. Next up at number 4 is the installation order. Now, this is something I've encountered recently. It is when you've put something in and then you realize that, oh, I shouldn't have done that yet, or I should have done it differently. So when I was installing the cooler, I put the back plate on. First things first, put the back plate on, put the bracket on, fine. And then I put the cooler on. Sealed it with thermal paste, lovely job. And then I took another look at the instructions, which were a bit misleading. There were a couple of washers, and the instructions made it look like they had to go on the top, when it actually should have been on the back side of the motherboard. So I had to take that all off and put it all back on again, with the washers in the correct position. That was very annoying, because I was literally done at that point, because I was just installing the cooler. But I had to go back and take everything back out and do it again. Not great, but that's really the instructions' fault, that it was a little bit misleading in the graphic that was on there, to be fair. Number 3, the lack of 5.25-inch drive bays on a lot of cases. Now, I'm the kind of guy that wants an optical drive. I have a lot of PC games on disc that I've collected over the years and still want to play. I emulate PS2 games and I use PS2 discs in it, so I want that optical drive. And a lot of cases are phasing out the 5.25-inch drive base that will allow you to mount an optical drive, which to me is, I understand why they're coming from. I've certainly got a lot more games on digital, so on Steam and Epic and all that, than I have actually on disc. But that doesn't mean I want to buy those games again, and it certainly doesn't mean I don't want to play those games. Now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. At number 2, the ATX power connector. Oh my god, anyone that has built a PC will know exactly what I'm talking about. It is a nightmare to take out when you're taking out your old motherboard. It is just so stiff and so in there. You're literally trying to wiggle it out while keeping the really stiff clip depressed, so it will come out, and you're wiggling it back and forth and your motherboard's creaking and you're like, oh god, I want to resell this or use it in another rig. I don't want to break it. And then, of course, you have to put in the new one, which should be straightforward enough. I mean, it's a very stiff cable because it's thick. But aside from that, it's not too bad. But what you get a lot of the times is you don't get a 24-pin connector. You get a 20+4 connector. So you've got these 4 pins that kind of slide on the side of it. And I don't know whether it's just because the ones I've used have been crap, but they don't tend to stay in there. So you slide it and you're trying to put it in, it's popped out and you can't get it in, so you're trying to hold it all together while getting this incredibly stiff cable to these very delicate pins, and you have to push down quite firmly as well. It's an absolute nightmare. They should really come up with a better way of doing it, but it is brown pants time when you're doing that one. And speaking of brown pants time, the very worst part of any new PC build, and that's powering it up for the first time. Oh my goodness, the amount of times you put in the power, you turn it on, and you just sit there for a moment and go, I'll just have a quick look. You have a quick look round, and then you're like, okay, yeah, I need to put the power on and make sure it's all working. And you just procrastinate, and then you finally sort of close your eyes and push the button, and you're praying to God it posts, and then sometimes it doesn't, and you're like, oh shit, now I need to try and work out what's wrong, and this could be anything. So you end up going through, checking all connections, trying it again, it doesn't work, maybe pulling a stick of RAM, see if you've got a duff stick of RAM, something like that. It could literally be a lot of things, and just having spent all that time assembling your PC and know you're going to spend even more time trying to troubleshoot why the damn thing's not turning on. Oh, it's the most nightmarish thing in the history of the world. But of course, on the flip side, if it turns on first time, you're absolutely ecstatic. You're like, oh yeah, take it. Yeah, got that sucker. But the whole sort of leading up to it and just how nervous it is, and you just, you don't even want to touch that power button. You're like, I might just leave it, I'd go have some dinner, have a cigarette, whatever. Just leave it for a while so I don't have to deal with it if it doesn't work. But anyways, guys, that's my top 5 annoying parts of making a new PC build. I'm sure I've missed some. I mean, the RAM installation is not particularly pleasant, if you ask me, but it's certainly of lesser magnitude than the 5 I've come up with, at least to me. So if you can think of any ones that I've missed, please let me know down below. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and we release videos Wednesdays and Saturdays, so please check back then. Saturdays are normally myself and Snare, and then we do sort of Wednesdays individually. We do 2 on, 2 off. So you'll get me again next Wednesday as well, with no doubt something equally wonderful. So if you liked the video, please comment and subscribe down below and give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give us a thumbs down. It's up to you. I mean, I have my detractors, which is fine. You have people that are wrong all of the time. Anyway, guys, take it easy. I'll catch you next time.